Chelsea in this club. I'm not defensive about it.
Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another live stream and all your latest Chelsea transfer news. And of course, welcome back to the home of the world champions. Big up to everyone that's locked in. Make sure you're smashing up the like, subscribe if you're new around here. And of course, make sure you get your thoughts in the chat as well. Packed show as always, guys. We've got all the latest on the future of Nicolas Jackson and Newcastle's pursuit of the Chelsea striker. We've got the latest on the deal for Xavi Simons and what Chelsea actually value Simmons at and how far apart we are in evaluation with Leipzig. We've got the latest on, of course, Levi Colwill as well. Chelsea might have to go into the market for a centre-back depending on the results of a scan that Colwill has or is going to undergo with an injury he picked up in a training session, not from a challenge either. So we've got to wait and see what happens with that one as well. Plus, obviously, we've got reports of the fees for Ugachukwu and Broja. There's interest from Wolves in David Datro Fofana as well. So a few bits and pieces in regards to outgoings to wrap up as well. Before I say hello to some of you lot in the chat, though, just a quick reminder as always, guys, make sure you check out Jersey's FC Soccer Shop. Link is in the description. Use code BLUEBROTHER for 20% off. Make sure you're looking fresh in the Chelsea home kit, away kit, or third kit when it drops. Names, numbers, patches, whatever you want on the back. Great quality, affordable prices. Make sure you check it out. 20% off Jersey's FC Soccer Shop. Link is in the description. Now, that is enough about that, guys. Let's say what you lot are saying in the chat. With the Colwill injury, do you think we need another centre-back? We need to wait and see. We're going to dive into that. Yes, big up, brother. Yes, hope you're good, bro. Yes, big up, big up. Big up. No time to waste, Garnacho bomber. Yes, big up, bro. Yeah, it was all right, to be honest. It was all right. It was pretty short. Less than an hour. I mean, it was pretty much done by 5:45. I mean, the best part was seeing Esteval, Jamie Gittins, and Liam Delap afterwards by total fluke. But other than that, it was all right. Nice event, but I think the timing and stuff was a bit off, particularly with it starting at 5 p.m. And they could have easily sold out the stadium doing it if they'd done it on an evening or something. But yeah, it was all right, to be fair. Yes, big up, bro. Yeah, it was total luck. It was a complete fluke. I have to be honest. Like, literally left, went for, I'm going to have a look in the mega store. Just have a little look around. Don't really go there that often. And I turned around the corner and there's Delap, Gittins, Joao Pedro, Esteval, Andre Santos, Trev, Sanchez, just standing there. Mad. Anyway, yes, big up. Yes, hope you're doing well, bro. Yes, big up to you. We need to go for Gurhi or Hincape. I think Gurhi's the most obvious one, chat. I think he's the most obvious one. But we will get into that Levi Colwill injury situation imminently. But we are going to start with Nico Jackson, and then we'll move on to Xavi Simons as well. We don't know. We don't know is the answer to that. We are awaiting scan results. Chelsea might already have those scan results, but they just haven't made them public knowledge. We don't know. But at least publicly, what has happened to Levi Colwill and what the severity of his injury is not known as of yet. We're going to start with Nicolas Jackson because there have been further developments in his situation. Now, let's start with what Enzo Maresca has had to say about Jackson to begin with. So, Enzo Maresca on Nico Jackson's future. We'll also get to Alejandro Garnacho as well, guys. Don't you worry about that. We will get to Alejandro Garnacho as well. That is all going to... we're going to do all that. Anyway, so Ben Jacobs. So this is what Enzo Maresca said this morning, press conference. Nico is okay. When the window is open, anything can happen. This includes Nico's situation. At the moment, 2 new strikers have arrived, so we will see. Jackson and Newcastle remains one to watch. So yeah, look, Maresca saying what he always says when he's asked about anyone's future: anything can happen in the window. That is pretty standard, par for the course. We know the score. This is what he always says, and that's what any manager would say as well. Because we've got to be real, guys. Anything could happen in the window. What happens in the transfer window, chat? Anyone could go. Someone could bid 300 million for Cole Palmer, and we might accept it. Do you know what I mean? Anything is possible. And so, yeah, that's what Maresca had to say about the situation. But guys, how big is this Garnacho news? Because people are saying it's a bomber. I'm pretty sure it's not. I mean, I could be wrong. Let me scroll to it now. Yeah, it's not that massive at the moment, chat. We'll get to that. We will get to that. So yeah, there was that. So Nico Jackson, Maresca saying pretty standard, a pretty standard answer, right? A pretty standard answer. Then, in regards to Nico Jackson, this is from Kieran Gill at Mail Sport. And he's pretty good, actually, to be fair to him. You know, he does a really good column. Chelsea believe Nicolas Jackson is worth more than the £75 million packages that have been submitted for Sesko, and also the £79 million that Liverpool paid Frankfurt for Ekitike. It then goes on to add that Chelsea won't be selling Nico Jackson on the cheap either. So, yeah, as I've maintained, chat, Chelsea have got their valuation for Nico Jackson. Whether you agree with it or not, that's a separate conversation. But when you look at the fees that players have gone for, when you look at Ekitike, who has done nothing in the Premier League, when you look at Benjamin Sesko, who has done nothing in the Premier League, I think Chelsea's valuation of Nico Jackson is entirely justified. Entirely justified, chat. It really is. You know, this is a guy who's got 2 years of Premier League experience. This is a player who has scored 24 Premier League goals in 2 seasons. And with the way that the market is, whether you agree with how the market is a separate conversation. But Chelsea's valuation, in my opinion, Chelsea's valuation of Jackson is not outrageous. And this is where we look at it and we think, right, okay, clearly Jackson will go if someone meets the valuation. If someone gets to 75 million pounds total package, then he will go. But the big question mark remains is, will any club meet that package? Because right now, what we're really looking at here, chat, is we're sort of relying on Newcastle to come in with a bid for Jackson, because no one else is paying that. We know there's interest from Juventus and from AC Milan, but Juventus and AC Milan are getting nowhere near that price tag. They're getting nowhere near that price tag, Juventus and AC Milan. Whether Chelsea would be prepared to sell abroad for cheaper, we don't know. Some reports have said that Chelsea might sell cheaper abroad. No one abroad is going to pay that money unless it's Saudi, and even Saudi might not pay that money. So let's wait and see. Again, Visa to Al Nassr has not been confirmed. There's reports in L'Equipe saying that Al Nassr are looking to sign Yohan Visa. What is this RTA guy doing? Ban this geezer. Fuck off. Right, he's gone. 65 million seems more fairer. I think his value has spiked a bit since his time in, but maybe not as much as the original rumoured 90 plus. I don't remember any rumoured 90 plus million pound valuations for Jackson. But at the same time, yeah, look, this is fair, and Chelsea absolutely will not sell him on the cheap. So it now remains to be seen, how desperate are Newcastle? How desperate are Newcastle? Will they pay this money? No Benjamin Sesko. Rejections left, right, and centre. Rejections left, right, and centre, chat. Yeah, bro. Look, Xavi Simons is close, by the way. Xavi Simons is very close. It's not done yet. It's not done yet. I mean, Sport Witness is not exact. Sport Witness is just a website that quotes other reports. But yeah, so that's what they're looking for. And then, guys, I never thought I would be doing this, but I'm going to bring up Indy Carla on screen. Now, real ones know Indy Carla News used to be banter. It was like a joke sort of account. But now, Indy Carla News got credited by David Ornstein last night in regards to the Brighton and the Man United Carlos Baleba situation. I think the account's been bought. It's now not just one person working on it. It's actually a team of like 4 or 5 journalists who are working on it. And I think they actually have some sort of legit sources. But he's been quoted. I mean, the fact that Ornstein has actually quoted him is mental. So, look, we'll take this with a slight pinch of salt, but nowhere near as much as perhaps we would have done in the past. Apparently, according to Indy Carla, Nicolas Jackson has made it clear to his agent he wants to join Newcastle. The young talent is eager to take the iconic number 9 shirt and make history for the club. Chelsea and Newcastle in talks. Jackson's optimistic both clubs can reach an agreement. So there we go. You know, again, I'm not saying this is absolute gospel, but Indy Carla's reputation has increased, chat. Indy Carla's reputation has somewhat increased compared to what it has been in the past. Now, I don't know. By the way, I think that Nicolas Jackson to Newcastle would be a great move for Nico. I actually think he'd do very well there. And one thing I would say is, right, and I'm prepared to say it, and I'll say it right now, chat. Nicolas Jackson, if he goes to Newcastle, will score more goals than Benjamin Sesko will score for United next season. Facts. Absolute facts, in my opinion. Absolute facts. I think Jackson at Newcastle scores more goals than Sesko at United next season. Yes, big up, bro. Run the likes up as always. Yeah, we're going to get to Garnacho. Yes, bro. Big up to all the Chelsea fans out in Nigeria. Chelsea with real African heritage. Yeah, bro. I mean, look, we've known this for weeks now. Like, this has just been waiting to happen. We know the situation. We know it's inevitable. We know it's inevitable. But yeah, so look, that's kind of the situation with Nico Jackson. Maresca giving the standard manager spiel about anything can happen in the window, blah blah blah. But yeah, it's looking a bit. Yeah, it's not great, is it, chat? It's not great. But what we might do, chat, bear with me, chat. We're going to switch up the thumbnail, and we're going to get Garnacho in because talks have actually now begun. Even though we sort of knew that talks have begun, talks have. So it's been now reported for the first time. So let me just change this thumbnail, guys. I mean, chat, what are you saying? Do you think Newcastle, by the way, guys, let me know in the chat. Do you think Newcastle will offer anywhere near Chelsea's asking price? What do you think, chat? Are Newcastle going to offer anywhere near Chelsea's asking price? The problem Newcastle have got now is they've shown their hand. Because we know they've got a 90 million euro package that they can offer. We know that money's there, chat. We know the money's there. So what are we saying? What are we saying? I mean, 90 million euro package, even if it was 85 million euro package for Nico Jackson. Chat, I'm just changing the thumbnail. Bear with me. And we're going to need to change the title as well. But yeah, I think you've got to look at. I think you've got to look at 70 million, chat. I think you've got to look at 70 million, straight up, minimum, absolute minimum. We're going to get to Garnacho. I've just got to work out a couple of bits and pieces, chat. Bear with me, 1 sec. But yeah, look, you look at it, guys, and you're sort of thinking. On the one hand, that money would be ridiculous, and you absolutely can't say no to it. You can't say no to it. However, there's still a big however here. We are relying on Newcastle being desperate and spending that money. Now, desperation makes people do weird things. Desperation makes people do weird things, guys. And that can't be fully ruled out. That can't be fully ruled out. Do you know what I mean? That can't be fully ruled out, chat. So that's what we're relying on. Otherwise, I can't see him going anywhere else. Do you know what I'm saying, guys? Do you know what I'm saying? Right. Can someone tell me, chat, has the thumbnail changed and has the title changed? Has the thumbnail and the title changed, guys? Because if it has, we're cooking and we can get back on with the show. Oh, now this looks fucked. What's happened here? Anyway, someone tell me, has the title changed? Yep, title's changed. Fantastic. We're back in business, chat. We are back in business. Yes, yes, yes. Chelsea Open talks for Alejandro Garnacho. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. Big up to everyone. Okay, great. We'll be surprised. Look, I don't think we get more than 80. I don't think we get more than 80. No chance. I don't see that. But between 70 and 80 million, thank you, guys. Thank you. Between 70 and 80 million, you do business. You accept that bid. But again, what we need to know is Jackson desperate to leave? Is he desperate to leave, chat? Oh, chat, I've fucked it. I've spelt a name wrong. I've spelt something wrong. I've spelt talks wrong. So yeah. That's what we need. That's what we're looking for, chat. That is what we're looking for. Who Newcastle going to bid the money, or are they not? This is what we need to find out. But yeah, that's the latest with Nico Jackson. That is the latest with Nico Jackson. So yeah, there we are. Right, perfect. All good, all good. So yeah, let's move on from Nico Jackson, chat, because we're going to talk Alejandro Garnacho now. We're going to talk Alejandro Garnacho because there have been developments in regards to that. So that's the latest on Nico Jackson. Apparently he's eager to play for Newcastle, wants the Newcastle move. We wait and see. We wait and see. Anyway, we get into the Ben Jacobs bomber on Garnacho. Chelsea have opened initial talks for Alejandro Garnacho, with the Man United winger keen on a move. United seeking in excess of 40 million, but Chelsea feel the price will drop should Benjamin Sesko's move be completed. Now, we've had multiple reports saying Chelsea don't want to pay more than £30 million. More than £30 million. We don't want to do that. United asking for in excess of 40 million. They're not going to get that. They're not going to get that. But this is the TalkSport article, exclusive settings. Chelsea have opened initial talks to sign Alejandro Garnacho from Man United. Garnacho is a left-wing target, and the deal is separate to the club's ongoing pursuit of Xavi Simons. The Argentine winger is keen on a move to Stamford Bridge, while Chelsea want another left-sided reinforcement, having chosen not to buy Jadon Sancho. Mudrik's unavailable, yet, and Sporting winger Giovanni Quenda's not arriving until 2026. Chelsea believe another winger is needed. TalkSport understands William and have left talks until late in the window, working under the impression the price for the 21-year-old will drop. A loan with a conditional obligation is not ruled out, although United sources insist they want a permanent exit. United valued Garnacho as high as 60 million back in January when both Chelsea and Napoli inquired. United now want between 40 and 50, but Chelsea may be able to drive that price range down. Garnacho is sold on a switch to Chelsea, and personal terms are not thought to be a problem. Right. So this is why we've waited until late in the window, guys. This is why we've waited until late in the window, because we are looking to take advantage of the fact that United are desperate to get rid of Garnacho. That's why we're doing this. Now, this could work, or it could also backfire, because we tried this, by the way. We've tried this, by the way, before with Osimhen, and it didn't work out. We waited and waited and waited, and we just thought, oh, the geezer will drop his wage demands. The geezer didn't drop his wage demands at all, and the move didn't happen. I think this is slightly different because United want Garnacho out. United want him out, and they know that they have to get rid of him. Keeping him is going to be kind of not on. A loan with an obligation, like we did with Jadon Sancho, that for me, if there is a perfect outcome to this, that's the best solution. But I suspect this will go well into the last couple of weeks of the window, in my opinion. But I think 30 million and an absolute push. Maybe we go 35 all in. Maybe we go 35 all in. But other than that, guys, more than that, and it's not worth the money. More than that, and it's not worth the money in my view. It just isn't worth the money. You know, we've spoken about Garnacho at length. A deal for £30 million, if he's a rotation piece, considering the way that the market is, that is well below market value, guys. It's well below market value if you get him for 30 million. When you look at the market, it's well below. Well below. Issue is Garnacho only wants Chelsea. He only wants Chelsea. We have to be real, guys. In the market, I think Garnacho is a 50, 60 million pound player. When you look at Madueke going for 52, when you see Pedro Alanga 55 million, when you see these similar price tags, Garnacho realistically should be in that price tag range. So a deal at 30 million or 35 is well below market value. Whether you think it's below market value, that's a separate conversation. But it is market, that 30 million quid is below market value. Now, in terms of how regularly he would play, I don't know. You'd obviously, he'd be rotating with Gittins on that left-hand side. Garnacho doesn't offer much versatility. He would be rotating with Gittins on that left side. That's about it. I mean, maybe he could play on the right potentially, but you don't see Garnacho playing down the middle or playing as a number 10. It would very much be as an option on the left wing. But I'm wondering whether, you know, Chelsea are looking at this Garnacho thing and thinking, right, this is just an opportunity that we might look at. Let's look at this as an opportunity. If the price is right and we can do a decent deal, then let's do it. If not, we'll leave it. But I also feel now that Garnacho has basically put all his eggs in the Chelsea basket, and he's relying on Chelsea coming in with an offer, and he's relying on United accepting that offer. We've seen Chelsea will stand very firm on their valuation for players. You saw we wouldn't pay the extra money for Mike Maignan. And I think we could have a similar situation on our hands with Garnacho. We look at Garnacho, we value him at around £30 million. I don't see us going much higher than that at all. At most, I think we go to 35. What we've got in our favour is that, one, he desperately wants to join us, and two, United are desperate to sell him as well. You know, other clubs have been interested, but they've since gone and signed other targets. So I don't know who would now be interested in Garnacho, chat. That's the main thing here. Who would now be interested in Garnacho? Yeah, I think a deal could be reached at around 35 million. I'm not saying it's certain. I'm not saying it's certain. But yeah, I reckon around 35 gets a deal done. Around 35 will get you a deal done. But yeah, look, I think what we have to realise here is, chat, whether we want this to happen or not, this is going to happen. Now, regarding the structure of the deal, the price, whether it's a loan with an obligation or whatever it might be, this has been clear now for a number of weeks, maybe even a month longer, that this deal has been happening. We've been hearing about Garnacho stuff for weeks. If we're being honest, chat, this is something we should have expected back in January when the rumours first started. When the rumours first started, this is something we should have expected back in January, you know, that this was going to happen. I thought it might happen in January. It didn't. And those rumours have continued throughout the summer. This has been in the works for a long time. And it's no surprise now that talks have finally started. Now, you've got to think that this is an addition. This is an addition to Xavi Simons. Surely the Simmons deal is not going to fall apart. The Simmons deal, I don't think, is going to fall apart. But football's weird. Strange things happen. You know? Garnacho, we can wait for him. But the Simmons deal, we need to wrap this up and get him involved in the situation. We need to get him involved. We need to get him involved, guys. But the talks have opened. Chelsea keep working on both Garnacho and Simmons deals. So it's sounding like it is going to be both. But I just don't know what the hold-up is, why there's such a big hold-up for this Xavi Simons situation. No, exactly. No one should be hating on him when he arrives. No one. No one should be hating him when he arrives. You know, as soon as that player's holding the shirt up and they got the blue shirt on, you support them. That's what you do as a fan. Oh, God. And now there's fears about the Levi Colwill injury. Fuck. Bro, he said loads on it. You know, there's no point just repeating the same updates time and time again. No point. I suspect that's a situation as well. Leipzig are in talks of Harvey Elliott as a potential replacement. I'm not saying they want a replacement like formally announced, but they want a deal well advanced that it looks like it's going to happen potentially before they look at anything else. We have to get Gerhi. Yeah, potentially. I think they will. And we're going to get into this. So that is the latest on Garnacho. Talks have started for Alejandro, Garnacho, and Chelsea. The worst kept secret in football. We know this is happening. So, yeah, let's just get on with it. I mean, chat, what do you want to talk about next? Do we want Xavi Simons or do we want Colwill? Let's go Levi Colwill. Because that's kind of popping off a bit right now, and then we'll come to the Xavi Simons stuff. So, this was reported by Kieran Gill. This morning, obviously at the press conference with Maresca, Levi Colwill was sent for a scan last night with Chelsea now awaiting news. Injury occurred towards the end of their first pre-season session on Monday. Wasn't the result of a challenge. Chelsea could look at bringing in a centre-back this month if their fears are confirmed. It's always ominous when you hear that injuries have happened when as a result of no contact, no challenge. Like these non-contact injuries, it's never ideal when you hear that. It's never ideal when you hear that. You know, that always makes you think the worst. Bro, we don't know what the injury is. We don't know what the injury is. We're awaiting results. We're awaiting results, guys. But that's always, I mean, I don't think that's not possible now. Get me Gerhi, bro. You're preaching to the choir with that one. You're preaching to the choir with that one. I'm all over the Mark Gerhi situation, and that would be kind of a classic sort of Chelsea. I don't say panic buy, but it would be, wouldn't it? I don't think it's ACL. I've got no idea. Hopefully not, but I hope so as well. Maresca's comments, you know, again, it depends on what tone he said them in. I don't really know if it was a serious tone, a downbeat tone, just general conversation. I'm not sure. But either way, chat, either way, Chelsea are definitely concerned about Colwill. Definitely concerned. Because they must have had obviously conversations with him, they must have had conversations with the medical staff if their fears are confirmed. So they're obviously fearing that it could be something quite major. It could be something quite major. Again, we're speculating here. Until we get any official confirmation, we don't know, guys. Until there's any official confirmation, we don't know. But the fact that Chelsea have got sort of had fears about it, and then we're now getting reports saying that he could be out for a while, is a concern. Now, let me bring this up because this is from the Times. This is from the Times on the Colwill situation. Chelsea fear that Levi Colwill could miss more than just the start of the new season. So by that, I think we can ascertain, chat, that Colwill is going to miss the start of the season. He's not going to play in the two friendlies, and he's not going to play against Crystal Palace. Maresca's already said that Wesley Fofana is unlikely to feature in the friendlies, but he should be fit for Crystal Palace. We're already in a situation now where no Levi Colwill, Fofana's not played for ages, Badiashile is still injured from the Club World Cup game against Benfica when he done his hamstring, and at the trophy event last night when he was walking on, you could see that he was still limping. Yeah, it's not ideal. Guys, we're 233 in the building. Keep smashing that like button. It's free. It takes seconds to do. We're 95 likes. Run those likes up. Run them up, run them up, run them up, chat. Let's get this up to 200 likes. We're on 95 right now. Next stop, 150. Smash up the likes and keep subscribing if you're new. Road to 20k, but obviously road to 18k first. So yeah, keep subscribing, chat. We're 30 away from 17.7. Let's try and get those final 30 subscribers today. So smash the likes and subscribe. Let me see if I can get this article up. Obviously, the Times is paywalled, which is really shit. So what we're going to do, chat, we're going to see if this works. Oh, no. 12-foot ladder's been taken offline. Absolute devastating times. Yeah, that's not going to open, chat. That's not going to open. Anyway, so it looks like he could miss the start of the season. Now, this puts Chelsea in a difficult situation, because until we know how serious the injury is, that's going to dictate whether we move for another centre-back or not. Again, these are Maresca's comments. We had a problem the last 2 days about Levi Colwill. We don't know how long he'll be out for. Hopefully not too long. It's a problem. We need to wait. We don't know yet. So that doesn't sound that promising either. Now, with the defensive situation, it's an interesting one, right? Because people say, oh, Chelsea have got loads of centre-backs. And that is kind of true. But also, you know, that is true, but it's not. It's also doesn't really paint the full picture if you get what I'm saying. Now, some reports are saying it could be a hamstring injury. I don't know what it is about Chelsea and hamstring injuries. Reece James, Wesley Fofana, now potentially Levi Colwill. Why is it always hamstrings? That's the concern for me. But in theory, right, you look at it. There are a lot of players there. However, let's run through it, guys. Let's run through it. Because if it's long term, let's think about it. Fofana, okay, yes. Hopefully going to be fit for the start of the season. You can't rely on him. You then got Chalobah and Tosin. Hato, who can play centre-back, but is predominantly a left-back, and he's totally new to the league. Badiashile still injured. Achimpong, young and inexperienced. Ansel Mina is going to be sent on loan. Vega's not going to come back into the fold. Can you recall Mamadou Sarr? Yeah, you potentially can recall Mamadou Sarr. But again, another young, inexperienced player, teenager, into the back line, at centre-back, at the heart of defence. I'm not sure. I don't know if that's the right route to be going down. I don't know if that's the right route to be going down, chat. So if this is long-term, which I'm fearing the worst here, fine. Okay, let's presume you start Tosin and Chalobah, or you start Chalobah and Fofana, or Tosin and whatever it might be. If it's long-term, you've got to go and sign another centre-back. If it's over 2 or 3 months, chat, you've got to go and sign another centre-back. You have to. And Mark Guehi would be the most obvious choice. He would be the most obvious choice. But you must and you have to go and sign someone else. You have to. Bro, Levi's going to be injured. Hamstring, again, it's not been confirmed. Bro, Vega's being sold. Vega's going. There's no way back for Vega. He's done, dusted, going. Bro, Vega's being sold. Ansel Mina is going as well, on loan. Achimpong, again, rumours of a loan. I don't see how he gets promoted suddenly straight into the first team fold to start at centre-back. I don't think he does. Because he's behind Tosin, he's behind Chalobah, he's behind Fofana. Arguably, he's behind Badiashile, but Badiashile's also injured. I mean, look, Guehi, I think, is going to cost you... Guehi's going to cost you 50 million, but with our sell-on clause and a discount, we could probably get him for 40. I think we could get him for 40. I mean, it's not been confirmed anywhere, but look, a hamstring situation, we've seen it with James, we've seen it with Fofana. We can be looking at 2, 3, 4 months maybe. But Colwill is such a big loss because of how we play. His role in the build-up play. He plays at central centre-back as well. You know, he controls the tempo. He's the one that brings the ball out. You know, he opens his body out, you know. You know, he progresses the ball through the lines. He's the one that, you know, passes it into the midfield. His skill set and what he brings to the team is so vital. And if you're losing that for a number of months, you've got a major problem. Bro, when you're going to try and challenge for a title, which we are trying to challenge for a title, then you don't do that. You don't just chuck in Ansel Mina or Josh when you're trying to challenge for a title. Like, for me, if it's long term and our worst fears are confirmed, you've got to go and buy someone. You've got to go and buy someone, chat. And I think Mark Gurhey, for me, is the most obvious one. Yeah, there's a reason why PSG are selling Lucas Beraldo, because he's not really good enough. And I don't think he'd be good enough for us. No, Gurhey won't be sold for 70 million because he's got 1 year left on his contract and no one's going to pay that money for him. No one's going to pay that money for him. Bro, Gurhey will go for 40 million to Chelsea if Chelsea move, because Palace will probably want 50. We've got a sell-on clause, so you take that off because we've got a discount. We could get Gurhey for about 40 million. Bro, I've said it many times. These players will be sold, and Vega will be one of those as well to go. Vega will be the next one to go. Bro, Bastoni's never coming. I don't know if he'll even feature in any of those friendlies. He might feature in some of the friendlies, but the plan has always been to loan out Anselmino. The plan's always been to loan him out. So now we're in a... Colwell's top quality. He had difficult moments last season, but then he's really stepped up, come through and shown what he's about. Really has shown what he's about. And so, yeah, that's really important. And yeah, after the defender suffered an injury in training. I mean, these injuries in training are just, obviously, we need to wait for the outcome. I reckon Chelsea probably already know, but it's just not been confirmed yet. But let's put it this way. I don't think Colwill... I think you have to go in for Gurhey. I think you have to go in for Gurhey because he knows the Premier, he knows Chelsea. Be an easy transition. As I said, with a buyback clause, decent price we could get him for. And sure, it might not be what people describe as a needle mover, but you want someone reliable. Gurhey's reliable and he's a leader. Gurhey's reliable and he's a leader. No, definitely not, bro. This is a Club World Cup final shirt. That's obviously a copy because you can't buy the final shirts with the writing on them. Now, mate, this cost me 25 quid. It's not that £200 shirt, no. Bro, I think he's determined to leave, and I think the bridges have been burnt with Gurhey, with Vega and Chelsea. I think the bridges have been burnt on that one. Bro, in Kunku's the Sassy, I think Chelsea might have to drop their asking price, maybe to around 20 mil potentially. Drop the asking price to 20 mil, and maybe they'll come in. Maybe someone will come in. Potentially someone might come in at that money. But Disassy's got interest. I mean, look, Hato at an emergency you could use it at centre back, but you're not going to bring him in for that. You're not going to bring him in for that, guys. No way. I don't know how interested Chelsea are in Antonio Silva, and again, depending on the severity of the injury, how much money are Chelsea prepared to spend on a centre back? That's the big thing. That is the big problem. Well, we need to find out what the extent of the problem is. What we've got to remember, guys, is there's 3 Premier League games, then there's a 2-week international break. Depending on how severe it is, if he's only going to miss, say, 3 Premier League games, don't bother. But if we're looking at 2, 3, 4 months on the sidelines, I think you've got to go for someone else. I think you've got to go for someone else. I think you have to. But yeah, it's just a tricky situation, guys. It's just a tricky situation because Colwell's so key to how we play and the style of play, and he suits the system really well. But if it's serious for Levi Colwill, for me, you've got. I think you have to go for Mark Gurhey. I don't know why people don't like Mark Gurhey. I don't see why people are so against signing Mark Gurhey. I don't get it. Bro, I don't think the plan was to ever keep Sarr. I don't think the plan was to ever keep Mamadou Sarr. Yeah, the reports are vague because they don't know the situation yet. They're probably still waiting for they're waiting for the results of the scan to come back. They're waiting for the results of the scan to come back, chat. That's what's going on here. Waiting for those scan results, guys. But yeah, this is a real. I don't want to say it's a major problem, but it's a bit of a headache that we could do without before the start of the season. It really is a bit of a headache that we just don't need with the season starting next weekend. Bro, Hato's not going to play centre-back regularly. Exactly. Gurhey's one of the best centre-backs in the Premier League, and he's arguably England's best centre-back. Bro, Hato don't even play centre-back. Farioli changed him from a centre-back to a left-back because he didn't think he could be a top-level centre-back. Thought is the attributes that he has suited being a left-back better, and that's turned out to be a brilliant decision. Now, people are saying, oh, play Hato at centre-back. No. Bro, you can work on more than one deal at the same time. You can work on more than one deal at the same time. There is such a thing as that. Yeah, it doesn't sound promising. It doesn't sound promising. I mean, we'd all be purely speculating, but it doesn't sound great. Fofana's not played any football for the longest time possible. Maresca saying he's unlikely to take part in either of the friendlies against Bayer Leverkusen or AC Milan. Should be fit for Palace. Do you just chuck him straight back in first game of the season when he wouldn't have played since what, December? Like it's a problem. It is a problem, guys. Because yeah, you say okay, Fofana's fit, or he's not injured at least, but the guy's not played football. He's had no pre-season, no nothing. I don't think Fofana. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I don't think Fofana's played football since December. He hasn't played since December, has he, guys? So yeah, we have got problems. We absolutely have got issues, chat. Bro, Vega's gone. People need to stop mentioning Vega. He's gone. Oh, yeah, of course. No, he did. Yeah, Fofana came back for a little bit, didn't he? He did come back for a little bit and then got injured again. Look, again, there's been talks of Kim Min-jae, but he's not. I don't see that happening. I don't see it happening. No, he doesn't. He does just literally come back into the team, and it looks like he's never been away. Looks like he's never been away. He comes back into the team and he just fits in seamlessly. And so that is one good thing. He doesn't really take time to get up to speed. He just slots back into the team and drops a consistent level of performance and the sort of level of performance that you'd come to expect from him. Hopefully. Oh, this is not. Is this what we're doing? Is this really what we're doing? This is what we're doing, guys. Gurhey isn't better than Maguire. Mental. Yeah, bro, that's never happening. No, Vega is gone as in he's going. He's going. Like, anyone that thinks Vega is actually staying at Chelsea is mental. He's on the for sale list, and he's up next with the likes of Colwill, Chilwell, Sterling, Disassi, Vega, Chukwuemeka. Those are the next guys that they're looking to get out. There's no way back for Vega at Chelsea. There's no way back. George wants to go. He wants to go to play football. So whether that's going to be a loan or a permanent, we have to wait and see whether it's loan or permanent. We don't know yet. I don't think we'll get an expensive one. I think if Colwell's long term, I think you'll see Chelsea. I think you'll see Chelsea go for Gurhey. I don't really see Chelsea going for anyone else. I don't think you'll see anyone go for anyone else. I think Gurhey will suddenly become the top target. Bro, who's the cover for Levi at left centre back? Because the only is Badia Shield. Yes, others can play there, but I think you have to go and get a Mark Gurhey, in my opinion, if it's long term. I think we'd be taking a major gamble if Colwell's long term and we don't sign anyone. Because even for Fafana, we know we've got no evidence that the guy can actually stay fit. We've got no evidence whatsoever the guy can stay fit, chat. But what's not right about him? England's best centre-back, leader, knows the Premier League inside out. Is a Chelsea boy, he's come through the academy. Well, what is wrong with him? And don't say, oh, he's not tall enough. No, we're not going to go for Kivy or no. Bro, I don't see Chelsea going for Kim personally. I don't see that either. I think I personally don't see that. Zabani's going to PSG. That's virtually done. So yeah, look, we're in a difficult situation, chat. All we can do now, really, at the moment, we're just purely speculating. We're purely speculating right now. But yeah, it's not looking good. It doesn't sound good. Really doesn't sound good. And I'm kind of am fearing the worst. I've got to be real. Majorly fearing the worst. So all we can do is wait and see. But if it's major, then we have to wait and see what Chelsea's plan is. Yeah, bro, the women's team won the treble last season. Bro, Bastoni's not coming. I don't know where people are just living in a fantasy world where they think Bastoni's coming. You know? I don't think we're going to go for a Lucas Beraldo either. I mean, I've got no idea, what plans they might have. I think what is clear is, guys, that Mark Gurhey will definitely be on the list. We know that. In terms of what other players might be on the list, I don't know. I don't really know who else might be on there. But Chelsea would need to move fast, by the way, if this is serious. Got to move quick. Bro, he's not a centre-back, though. Yes, he can play centre-back, but I wouldn't be comfortable playing Hato as a centre-back on a regular basis whilst Colwell's out. That's just a no in my mind. It's just a no. Oh, big up to Mutt Yard for the super chat. Appreciate you, bro. Waking to this has ruined my morning. Yeah, not the best news. Not the best news. Obviously, we're waiting for it to be confirmed. But the way it's being reported and the way that Maresca's spoken about it and whatnot, it makes it sound like, yeah, this is not the best news. But we're waiting. Maybe we get updates today. Maybe it will be tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, Maddison's done his ACL. Bro, Branthwaite signed a new 5-year contract at Everton earlier this summer. I don't think that's suddenly. I don't think that's suddenly changing. And it's a shame that Colwell's injured. It is a shame that Colwell's injured. But all we can do now is wait and see. All we can do now is wait and see, chat. But it's not ideal. It's not ideal. But moving from Levi Colwill. Badiashil's injured, bro. He's been injured since the game against Benfica in the Club World Cup when he went off with a hamstring injury. He was at the trophy parade last night, and when he was walking out, you could see that he still wasn't walking particularly freely. He was limping. What, Nuno Mendes, the left back, the best left back in the world, who PSG definitely aren't going to sell and who we don't need. Bro, I wouldn't be playing Achimpong at centre-back, in my opinion. Not for me. Not for me. But yeah. Anyway, we're going to move on to Xavi Simons, because Xavi Simons is still not done. So, I mean, forget the Nico Jackson bit at the bottom. Chelsea are hoping to agree a deal to sign Xavi Simons for less than 50 million. They value the RB Leipzig player at between 50 and 55 million euros. Chelsea have not made a bid for Simmons yet. So it's been maintained all along, chat, that, bro, Reece James is not playing centre-back. You're going to play Reece James at central centre-back, yeah? Come on, bro. So it's been reported all along that that Leipzig values Simmons at £60 million total package. Again, Chelsea don't want to pay 60 million. I think that's been reported quite openly that Chelsea want to pay less. And now this is the first time, from what I can see, that we've heard of what Chelsea value Simmons at. And it's 50 million. It's not a surprise. I suspect you'll meet partway through 55 million. You do a 50 plus 5 deal or something. You meet in the middle or something along those lines. So we're obviously negotiations are ongoing. Bro, the problem is 50 mil probably isn't going to get it done, which is why the negotiations are still ongoing, and it's why it's not done, because we don't want to pay 50 mil. Yeah, bro, the Simmons story is boring. It is boring, but like first it was like, oh yeah, Chelsea are focusing on outgoings now. We've done 4 outgoings this week, 3 or 4 outgoings this week. Why is the Simmons deal? Why is the Simmons deal still not done? Why is the Simmons deal still not done? That's what I don't get. You know, what's the issue here? This is what I don't understand. And every time, you know, every day that goes by and this doesn't happen, you're just thinking, what's going on here? I'm not concerned about it falling through, but I don't think we'd go through all this level of negotiations to then just walk away from this deal. I don't see that personally. I don't think we walk away from this deal. I don't think we walk away from it. There's no breakthrough still. I'm wondering whether part of the hold-up chat is because Leipzig still haven't got a replacement sorted. I'm wondering if that's part of the reason. You know, are Leipzig wanting to get a replacement fully sorted first before allowing this deal to go through? Maybe that's the situation. Esteval 41, yep. Yeah, they're looking at Harvey Elliott. Again, I don't know if he's the top target or what, but yeah, they're certainly looking at Harvey Elliott, chat. They are looking at him. But yeah, it's clear then the sticking point is twofold. One, the price still. And secondly, I think RB Leipzig looking for that replacement as well. So that's really the twofold situation, chat. No, we haven't put a bid in yet. And the reason why we're not putting a bid in right now is because we haven't agreed on a price yet. There's no point doing a bid that you know is going to get rejected, because that's just a waste of everyone's time. Well, let's do a bid of 40 million quid just to say we've done a bid. It's pointless. So yeah, no, we've not put a bid in yet. Yeah, but again, that's for a player that was 29 years of age. That was their justification. For someone who's 22 years of age, you know, that's that. I don't think Chelsea are walking away from this. Yeah, look, I'm still very confident this still happens, by the way. I'm still very confident this still happens. And I think both Simmons and Garnacho will be Chelsea players next season. So yeah, I mean, yeah, look, the hold-up's frustrating, it's boring. You know, there's no real updates on it. No, bro, we're not signing Garnacho instead. I'd be if that does happen, then fair enough. I hold my hands up and we can say that you were right. But I'm not getting that feeling at all. Exactly. You know, Leipzig know that Simmons is done there. Simmons is gone. But it's just it's just that basically. I think slight discrepancies on fee, and obviously, yeah, Leipzig need that replacement, and they're probably not prepared to sanction the departure of him until he's gone. So yeah, Chelsea value Simmons at 50 mil. Leipzig want more. No official bid's gone in yet, and still we wait. It's just frustrating, by the way, because Simmons should be taking part in these pre-season games, at least one of them, on Friday or Sunday. He's obviously not playing tomorrow. He's obviously not going to play on Sunday. And then he literally gets a week's worth of training with the team maximum before the first game of the season. Bro, Moises Caicedo deal took all summer. Enzo Fernandez took the whole of January. I'm confident it happens. Yep, good. Very good, very good. There is no Xavi Simons. Here we go. But we're just getting the practice in. Getting the practice in. Fair enough. Fair enough. Get the practice in. There is no Xavi Simons. Here we go. But yeah, I'm not saying we need Simmons for the first few games. What I'm saying is that it's just stupid not to get these players in before the start of the season. It doesn't make sense. It's going to take them weeks to get up to speed. Weeks. Bro, we're not going for Eze. We're not going for Eze. So yeah, look, we're kind of where we expect to be with Simmons. Bro, the Simmons deal, we're going to get it done. No, Rodgers is not this summer anyway. Not this summer. Bro, if you think the Joao Pedro deal was done in one day, then you don't understand how football transfers work. Because those negotiations behind the scenes would have been going on for several weeks. A deal doesn't just happen in one day. That would have been it might appear like that in public and in the media, but that Pedro deal would have been weeks in the works. Weeks in the works. No, it doesn't. I don't think specifically. I don't think Nkunku specifically needs to leave. Yeah, but the Caicedo deal got done in the end. The Caicedo deal got done. So, you know, yeah, the Hato deal took a bit of time as well. Transfers just take time, guys. Transfers just take time. That's the way that it goes. Guys, we're still over 230 in the building. Only 140 likes. Keep smashing that like button. Get this up to at least 150, guys. It helps me out more than you can imagine. So please do smash up the likes. And we're 25 away from 17.7. So make sure you keep hitting the subscribe button as well, guys. It's free and it really helps me out. So yeah, run those likes up, guys, and keep subscribing. The Gittins deal was also... Yeah, the Gittins deal was frustrating as well. Yes. Run the likes up. It's free. It's free. Yes, big up, bro. Saw news about us possibly going back in for Mignan towards the end of the window. I don't think so. Personally, I don't see that. I could be wrong, but I've not seen that anywhere. But things can change in football. Things can change in football. But yeah, look, we're all frustrated by Xavi Simons. Of course we are, chat. Of course we are. We're all frustrated by it. But the deal will happen. The deal will happen. I'm very confident. And if I end up looking stupid, I end up looking stupid. And that's just the way it goes. You know, simple as. Yeah, Dewsbury Hall done in 2 days. I mean, those, again, conversations that have been ongoing long before then. Would have been ongoing long before then. deals that like suddenly appear, deals that appear to have been done very quickly. That's because there's not been much reporting on them. But behind the scenes, stuff would have been going on for weeks. Would have been going on for weeks. And I know it's boring and it's not the most exciting or whatever chat. But yeah. Look, maybe a deal is already agreed. Maybe it is. And they're just waiting to announce it until Leipzig have got a replacement. Or maybe until Sesko's gone. That might be Leipzig's main priority to begin with. I don't know. I don't know for certain, chat. I don't know for certain. He has been, but and thoroughly deserved. But we know it's going to be Luis Enrique, treble Champions League with PSG. That's obvious there. Yeah, Wolves are looking at Datro Fofana. I mean, sort of almost forgotten he exists. But yeah, Wolves are looking at Datro Fofana. Exactly. This is it. No, I won't be putting any Sean Wright Phillips kits up for sale. But yeah, we're yeah. Look, we're I'm confident the deal gets done. I'm not worried. That's the problem. Like, because with some deals we don't do that, but then with other deals like this Simmons one, for example, like you're literally being taken every step of the way, and it does become boring, and it does become, you know, not very exciting. You just get sick of hearing about it. You just get sick of hearing about it. But yeah, chat. Really, the big things right now, we're waiting for Simmons, and we're waiting really massively for the Colwill stuff, because the Colwill stuff, as we've discussed, will change what we're going to do in the market. Obviously, waiting for the Simmons deal. We've opened talks over a move for Garnacho now. Yeah, the Neto deal, they kept that under wraps. I don't know how they kept it under wraps, but they did, and just bang, it was done. Literally, the first update we heard was basically a here we go. No, look, depending on how severe the Colwill situation is, I think we'll go and sign someone else if it's bad. Yeah, I think so as well. Well, that's the risk, and that's the problem. And personally, if Colwill's out long term, you can't be gambling on Fofana. We're not getting Murillo. I don't think Colwill was there, was he? Was Colwill there? I forget if he was there. Maybe he was there. I can't remember. I can't remember if he was he there. I've forgotten if he was there. I can't remember if Colwill was there. No, I didn't think he was. I didn't think he was there. No, I didn't think he was there. Bro, I don't see us going for big money signing at centre back. I think you'd either do like something low key, or it'll be Mark Gurhey. But we're still waiting. Suddenly, like, there's a few major things up for grabs now. Suddenly, there's a few major things ongoing. And as we've said, chat, as we have said, non-contact injury, real problem. That's what makes me worried about the upcoming season. I'll be real, guys, with the amount of games that we've played, with the fact we've had only 3 weeks off, if that, Pep's been talking about it as well. The amount of games everyone's playing, I think we're going to see a lot of injuries by mid-season. Colwill's had an injury in his first training session back. That wasn't even a contact injury. And Chelsea just about had 3 weeks off, if that. I'm just hopeful that we don't see a lot of Chelsea players dropping like flies over the first half of the season because of our lack of rest and whatnot. I'm praying that's not going to be the situation. I really am. But again, I equally wouldn't be surprised if it was. And it's these non-contact injuries that are the big worry. It's these non-contact injuries that could easily fuck you over. Well, they do fuck you over. Non-contact is always kind of the worst kind of injury. The one that you least want. The one that you least want, chat. No, David Washington is not going to do that. It was really good. Look, again, we don't know what it is. We don't know what it is, but I think, bro, relying on Fofana is not good. A lot of them will be at the World Cup. AFCON, I think, is only Jackson, if I'm correct. Is AFCON just Jackson? I don't think we've got any other African players in the squad right now. Or am I just completely forgetting someone on the spot here? Yeah, so would I. So would I. I don't see how that should be a ridiculous opinion. No, because Tosin's not confirmed that he's going to play for Nigeria. He's not confirmed that. Is that been officially? I don't think that's been officially confirmed. I know that he's thinking about it, and the expectation is he will choose Nigeria, but I don't think that's been confirmed. You know, that's not been confirmed. Might have to at this rate. Might have to. So yeah, look. Yeah, it is worrying times. It is worrying times. I hope this Colwill thing's not an ACL or something horrendous like that. I really hope not. Yeah, guys, run it up. Run it up. What are we on? We need to get these likes up, chat. We're on 160 likes now. We're on 160. We're still pushing, chat. Still pushing. Keep smashing up the like button. Let's get this up to 200, guys. And keep subscribing as well. Nah, bro, we're not. We can't be doing stupid shit like that. You know, you've signed Hatto to be a left back. You're not just going to chuck him in to replace Levi Colwill at centre-back in the Premier League from day one. No way. Absolutely no way should we be doing that. No chance. Yeah, but that I think Hato is good enough. No doubt Leo was a big miss. I think, bro, Hato's not a centre back. I do wonder sometimes. Do people actually, have people watched Hato play? He's someone who can play centre back. Bro, Vega's done. I don't think there's any way back for Vega at Chelsea. No way back. Guys, no way back. And there's also that as well. There's also that as well. That doesn't mean it's the best option. I mean, look, Gittins could play on the right wing if he had to, but again, that's not why he was signed. No, bro. This is your. I don't know what you've obviously completely misunderstood. Hato's been signed to predominantly be backup left back for Cucurella. Now, whether you want to call it backup, competition, rotation, whatever you want to call it, he has been signed primarily as backup rotation for Cucurella. It is a useful asset that he can also play a bit of centre back, but he is not going to play majority of his football at centre back for Chelsea. He's not. Yeah, some, but Farioli changed Hato from a centre back to a left back because he believed that Hato didn't have the skill set to be a top level centre back. Bro, he's a left back. We don't need him to grow as a centre back. You know, we don't need him to grow as a centre back. He's left back. No, I'm not sure about Maresca not rating Vega. Vega wanted to go and play centre back, and so you have to accept that. You have to accept that that's what he wanted to go and do. Exactly. Yeah, Hato got changed from a centre back to a left back because Farioli, who was Ajax manager last season, didn't think he was good enough to be a centre back. That's why he changed him. So we shouldn't be saying that Hato can play left back for Chelsea to replace Levi Colwill. Makes zero sense. Why people are saying that. Makes absolutely zero sense. But yeah, it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. Bro, I think Achimpong is gone anyway. Loan. I don't think Chelsea will sell, but I think Achimpong, in terms of a loan, is the guy needs to play football. The guy needs to play football. And he's not going to get enough minutes to develop at Chelsea next season. Whether you think that's right or not is a separate conversation. But the reality is that Achimpong needs to go out and play football. And with the way that it appears to be at the moment, he probably needs to go on loan. No, he didn't. Why are we making stuff up? Why are we making stuff up? Bro, he's been signed as a left back. I'm not saying he can't play centre back, but he's been signed to play as a left back. Predominantly, he's been signed to play as a left back. Anyway, that it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. Let's see if there's any other updates, chat. Let's see if there's any other updates. Doesn't look like there has been. Let's have a quick look. It's been quite a busy show this morning, chat, or this afternoon even. We've had obviously major Levi Colwill news, major Nicolas Jackson news, Garnacho talks, Simmons. Bro, Badiashil's injured still. Badiashil's still injured. Let's just make that clear. Yes, big up to the morning zombie. Guys, we're only 20 likes away now. We're 20 likes away now. We're now 20 likes away. So keep smashing that like button, people. Run it up, run it up. But look, I think Gurhey makes the most sense. That makes the most sense. It's not going to cost you a lot of money. Knows the Premier League inside out. Can play in a 3, can play in a 4. That would be who I'd go for. What was I wrong about João Pedro on? What was I wrong about on that? But we're not going to sign Nathan Ake on loan. You know, yes, if we invert from the right-hand side and Hato's playing, then in possession, yes, he'll play as a left-sided centre-back in the back 3. All I'm saying is I don't think he's going to start. We're not going to pay 50 million for Mark Gurhey. Maresca himself has said it. Hato is going to need time and he's going to be eased in. He said he's not ready yet. You know, so you honestly think that we're just going to chuck Hato straight in on day 1 at centre back and he just jumps ahead of everyone in the queue? Of course he doesn't. Of course he doesn't. Of course he doesn't. Yeah, the striker market is not particularly good. Definitely not. But if Jackson goes, then I don't see a third centre back coming in. I don't. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong on that. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'd like to always back Chelsea, but that would be difficult, and I wouldn't be surprised if we did miss out. If it was to come down to that, but it's gone really quiet on Mark Gurhey's future. It's gone very, very quiet. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Think things have gone quiet. Then Nkunku. No, there's things going on. I don't think we need daily updates on Nkunku. Clubs are interested. So yeah, we just have to wait now. But clubs are interested and we wait. That's it. Simple as that. So yeah, there we go. Anyway, guys, unless anything major's come through in the last few moments, I'm going to round this one out here. Yeah. Right, guys. Big love for all the support today. Appreciate each and every single one of you in the chat. Big yourselves up, guys. He might go to Wolves. Might go to Wolves. That's it. But yeah, people, thank you for all the support this afternoon. Great show as always. Big yourselves up, guys. Please, on the way out, smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new around here as well. Would greatly appreciate both of that. Let's get us to 200 likes on the way out. We need 20 more likes. Let's get those on the way out. So smash the like button. Subscribe if you're new. I'll be back later on today if there's any major news. If not, I'll catch you lot again tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, guys. Up the Chelsea, and we're out. Peace.